What is good, YouTube? Hopefully you're all having a good day. This is my fourth Avengers Endgame video that I have lined up for you guys, and like the previous three, I want to give out a major spoiler warning before I go ahead any further. Now today in this video, I'm going to give my take on how Avengers Endgame should have happened. So before we begin, if you're new around here, consider subscribing to get more videos like this. For my subscribers, hit that notification bell for you to not miss a single upload. Like this video, share this video with your friends to show your support to the channel. Now, Avengers Endgame is in my top 2 best comic book movies of all time. I'm still hesitant whether or not to make it number 1, but that's another video for another day. With that being said, just because it's in my top 2, it doesn't mean that it's 100% perfect with absolutely zero flaws. Just like in every film and in everything really in life, there's always room for improvement. One of the main criticisms that I have against Avengers Endgame, despite how much I love it, is that basically 95% of this movie wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for a rat conveniently and miraculously turning on the quantum machine that brought Ant-Man back from the quantum realm in which he has been stuck inside since the mid-credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So here's how I would have handled Ant-Man escaping the quantum realm. Remember in the mid-credit scene for Ant-Man and the Wasp, right before Scott went into the quantum realm, Janet alerted Scott to watch out for the time vortexes because if he were to enter one of them, then they wouldn't be able to get him back. So, in Avengers Endgame, what should have happened instead is that for Scott to leave the quantum realm, he should have stumbled upon one of those time vortexes, thus sending him 5 years into the future as we saw in the movie. There were 1 or 2 scenes before we ever saw Scott Lang in this movie that could have been either trimmed down or cut out entirely. The very first scene after the Avengers Endgame title sequence was a scene about Steve leading some sort of counseling group or something like that. We keep this scene, but it won't be the first scene after the title sequence. That honor goes to Scott Lang exiting the quantum realm via the time vortex. So this is basically how I would have handled this part of the film. But another thing that could have been improved was the amount of action scenes, and I'm not saying that they should have had action scenes in the first 20 minutes of this film. In fact, the route they ultimately went with was the right way to go up until they split up into their teams to go back in time to collect the stones. In my opinion, when they went back to collect the stones, there should have been more action scenes from that point on, because truthfully, the only fight scene there really was before the climax was the one where Steve Rogers was fighting himself. I would have added at least maybe 1 more fight scene. At least 1 more. Furthermore, I would have made the Ronin fight scene that was towards the start of the movie a little bit longer, and I also would have added Black Widow to the fight as well, given that she literally has no fight scenes in the entire movie. So here's how I would have had this scene play out. It starts out the way we actually see it, with Clint brutally killing them off one by one. But he lets his guard down for a quick second and is about to be attacked, but Black Widow comes to his rescue and saves him just in time. Despite knowing that Natasha is there, Clint still attempts to continue on his killing spree, but Black Widow also continues to fight alongside him, but she is blocking every killing blow from Clint. And while she does this, she's basically saying the same things that she said to him in the actual film. And towards the end of this fight, Clint has the leader of the bad guy group. And yeah, I'm calling it the bad guy group because I can't even remember what they were called. So let's just call them the bad guy group. So yeah, he has the leader of the bad guy group at his mercy, as all of the other henchmen are either dead or knocked out. So Natasha gives Clint a choice to either murder him in his family name or to not kill him and come with her to get his family back. So Clint puts away his sword and ultimately chooses the latter of those 2 options. And that is how I would have had this scene play out. Right, now let's talk about something I know a lot of people wanted to see. Hulk versus Thanos round 2. It was actually teased by someone involved with the film that we would actually see round 2 in Avengers Endgame. I think it was the directors or one of the writers, I can't quite remember, but obviously there was no round 2. Professor Hulk wasn't used to his full potential in this movie, But on the bright side, I'm sure that we will see him again in maybe one more movie, considering the fact that he didn't really get any sort of ending like the other original Avengers. We saw the Bruce Banner side of Professor Hulk, that being the smart side of him, but we never got to see him use his hulking strength in combat to full effect. What I would have done is somewhere during the climax have Hulk and Thanos square off, where Hulk is actually using his brain to fight smartly this time, thus ultimately redeeming him from his humiliating defeat in Infinity War. So now, one of the things that I really didn't like about Avengers Endgame was the fact that they didn't have a funeral or memorial for Black Widow. All that happened for her was that one scene where Steve shed a tear and Hulk threw a bench along with a line of dialogue between Clint and Wanda during Tony's funeral. It's as if her death wasn't significant, but it was. Why couldn't they have just added something for Nat alongside Tony's coughing to remember them both instead of just one? Because if it wasn't for her sacrifice, Tony wouldn't have even been in the position that he was. I get that Iron Man is the one that started the MCU, but you still have to pay respect and pay tribute to Black Widow, who has also been a big part of the 11-year franchise too. In fact, technically speaking, she's actually the third ever Avenger we saw on screen after Iron Man and Hulk, as she made her debut in Iron Man 2 all the way back in 2010. Other than that, everything else in this movie was pretty much how it should have been. I love this movie. It is in my top 2, like I said. So what do you guys think? Did you like Avengers Endgame how it was? Would you have changed anything? And if you wanted to change something, let me know down below in the comments what it is that you wanted to change about the movie. And also comment down below, how do you feel they should have handled Black Widow's death? How do you feel they should have handled Professor Hulk? And do you think it was the right choice to kill off Tony instead of Cap? For me, I feel that Tony dying and Cap basically growing to be an old man was the right way to go. Although before Endgame, I was certain that it was going to be Captain America to bite the dust. It was going to be Captain America to die. But I'm glad that they went the route that they went, because it made sense for Cap's story and it also made sense for Tony's story as well. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. So if you like this video, give this video a huge thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later for more videos.